Alright, we're back. And I also figured out how to get rid of that Windows hourglass weight cursor thing that was in our way last time. Um, so, moving on. This is the corridor. The concept here was developed by another of our writers, Snarky. The idea being that Merrick can't pass through light, so he has to use various means to get by first UV light, and then there are a number of really clever puzzles that he came up with where there's sunlight, and Merrick can't go into the sunlight, but he has to use a solar-powered probe to do so. But we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. Merrick tries to walk into the light.
Ah! Ultraviolet light! Vampires do not have sufficient skin pigment to walk through it without burning.
So we can look at it. A game mechanic, if you right-click, you can look at stuff.
It's a UV light, not fatal to vampires, but damn uncomfortable.
So, how can we get through there? Well, he said vampires don't have sufficient skin pigment to get through. That was the hint. If we look at our inventory, hey, we have carrots, and what happens if you eat a lot of carrots? Well, see, that's the gag. This is left over from Captain D's vegetarian vampire idea.
My mom always said that if I ate too many carrots, I'd turn orange. The pigment wore off.
Well, we're through. And we can turn off... this switch was actually on Yaruz's exercise yard background. I kind of just switched it over here because we actually do need a switch to turn off this light. So you can turn it off in case you ever wanted to go back. Now, we've picked up everything we need, so that won't be happening. Moving on.
Did you see my new bonsai experiment?
I was too busy considering why that broken probe wouldn't work.
This looks like some sort of robot lab. Maybe I can find some stuff here that could help me escape.
Alright, so the
I've got to hurry though. The guards might notice that I'm loose at any moment.
Alright, so, the robot lab, as it was called in our development phase, our sprites are both... Well, this one's designed by Studio 3. This one's designed by Tabata, and both are animated by Tabata in order to make them look like they're realistically interacting with the machines. Background is by Corby. He did some of the animation here too, I believe. What do we do now? So the idea was that Merrick can take on the powers of whatever he consumes. We've already seen that when he bit into the carrot. Now, if he bites one of these scientists, maybe he'll get smart enough to figure out how to use some of this stuff to escape.
Holy crap! The VCU's at large!
VCU? The vacuum containment utility?
No, the vampire cyborg unit! Run for your life, you fool!
I just have to finish this one thing.
So anyway, the hilarious animation there was by Big GC. Voice acting, also hilarious, by Space Pirate Kane. The voice acting of the blonde scientist is that of Studio 3, who was also the designer of the sprite. Let's try again, maybe we can catch this guy.
Oh, the horror! The horror!
I now temporarily know some trivial scientific facts. For instance, pine cones have evolved to survive forest fires, and a solar-powered probe needs sunlight or it won't function.
Alright, so that bite animation was by Ghost. Over here we could find, oh hey look, there's a pine cone. Could that be useful later on? My adventure game instincts say yes, so let's grab
I will
it.
take said pine cone.
We're also interested in, hey, that solar probe.
Come to daddy, probe.
Now remember, the probe will only work if it's in sunlight. That's very important later on. So we've got Merrick, who cannot ever go into sunlight, and we've got the probe that will only work if it is in sunlight. That makes for some interesting game dynamics later on. And oh look, here's another remnant of Merrick's vegetable or vegetarian phase, so let's grab it.
That banana might come in handy.
We've taken everything we can use here, so we're moving on. I believe this background here is by Buckethead, consequently. We're moving on. We're going to see a very short cutscene written and performed by Hudders, and this was put in order to flesh out rather, the plot a little more, so people would understand why what happens later on was happening. Here we go.
Hello. What? Walter? Slow down. Walter, I can't... Will you calm down, you asthmatic lunatic? That's better. Now, explain to me. Escaped? How did that happen? Dear God, man, can't you keep it in your pants for 5 seconds? Well, I'm not going to worry too much. I'm sure one of your toy robots isn't going to give me any trouble, even if it is piloted by a pair of vampire twins. I'm perfectly safe inside. No, that isn't an alarm you can hear. That's just the microwave. I'm having a baked potato. Yes, they are better done in the oven, but... Look, Walter, I'm a busy man. Yes, I'll let you know if I see them, but really I have better things to do. Yes, goodbye, Walter. Grad students. Give them a chemistry set and a brain in a jar, and suddenly they think they're Victor Frankenstein. Attention, all guards, this is not a drill. Execute Giant Robot Defense Plan Alpha immediately. I repeat, this is not a drill. And someone turn that damn alarm off.
Ah, sunlight! How am I going to get across?
Alright, so this is the exercise yard, background designed by Yaruz, edited slightly by Ali, who was our art director, just in order to bring down this walkway. He called it a gantry, I called it a catwalk, just so there's enough room for our guard to walk up there. Consequently, that's Ali's walk cycle and guard design, and he actually did the very impressive animation we're going to see shortly as well. One other edit, I took that switch out of Yaruz's background because we didn't really want the electric fence to be able to be turned off, but at the same time we wanted to indicate that it was an electric fence, so we changed it into a lightning bolt kind of thing here to give the player a clue of what was going on, and we just cut that switch right out and moved it into the other room. This is kind of the way we have to work when we're trying to assemble a game from so many different pieces and make it make sense. Anyway, this guard, if we look at him, we'll get a message saying that, oh, we can't do anything unless we get rid of the guard. So first step, how are we going to get rid of him? Well, we can't go into the sunlight, so let's find our probe.
Yeah, the probe will get up there, but I need to get it a weapon first, if it's going to take the guard out.
Alright, so we need to arm the probe. Let us consider our inventory. Not a lot of options, but, you know, I've played this game before. Let's try this. For some reason, you combine the banana and the probe. For some reason. Well, we'll find out why. Well, very obviously the guard is toast, and now we can have our way with his possessions, including this umbrella-looking thing up here. Now, it looks like we're running close to out of time for YouTube upload, so I'm going to minimize this, stop, and we'll catch you in part 3 for the climactic conclusion.